Hey, my name's Lizzie, and today I'm going to show you the basic eyeshadow technique that I start out all of my makeup classes with. This is going to sculpt the eye and highlight it, contour it, just define it and make it look pretty without being too makeup-y or too much. Although we are going to use a lot of makeup to achieve this look, but that's just how us makeup artists work, right? Okay, so to start this, I want to establish my canvas. I want to use an eyeshadow primer, or a cream concealer, or full coverage cream concealer, cream foundation, rather, sorry. Today I'm gonna do a cream concealer. This is MAC. I love my MAC products. You're gonna use the color that matches your skin tone, or that is about 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. For this, I'm going to work off a spatula to avoid cross-contamination with any emollient or aqueous product. If you're just working on yourself at home, you don't have to do that, obviously. You already have your own cooties, so what harm is there in that? Okay, I'm going to also use a concealer brush. This is a MAC 252, larger of one of their best concealer brushes. It's a Taklon bristled brush, so it's going to be pretty firm and pack the color or product onto your skin where you want it. Not so much of a blender, just to, you know, put that product on me where I want it, kind of a brush. So, I am going to apply this concealer from my brow bone to my lashes, or actually from my eyebrow, and cover the whole brow bone. And cover up any blood vessels, dark circles, and give my eyelid a really nice sticky canvas so that I can stick all of those eyeshadows on there. They'll have something to adhere to, and they'll stay put. Okay, so now I'm going to do my highlight color. I like to start with the highlight color. It's the lightest color. It's going to absorb the oils in the concealer and get a little bit darker. So I want to make sure that I do that early on so I know how it's going to change in depth of color and adjust as necessary. And I also want to really establish where my brow bone is. A lot of times I see people with their highlights and it's just this skinny little line of light color. And it's like, oh wow, that's an awesome shiny line on your face, but I don't really know what it's supposed to do. You want it to just look like you have an amazing brow bone, not like you have an amazing eyeshadow color. That's our secret. I am going to pause for a second while I find, there it is. I'm going to use a 239 brush for my highlight color. It's a shorter brush. It's not Taklon bristles, but it is nice and firm. It'll pack that color on. I really want to pack this on because lighter colors, sometimes you have to put more on to get them to show. Yes, I totally just said more on. All right, so we're going to put this right underneath the eyebrow until we can't feel that brow bone anymore. And we're just going to pat and roll, place our color where we want it. It's going to be a color that is lighter than your skin tone by at least 1 shade. I have to use a color called Floof to really get some oomph, unless I'm going to use just a white or a white frost, because I am quite pale. Darker skin tones, you're obviously going to use different colors. We can go all the way up to a nice frosted peach for some tones, or for lighter to medium depth skin tones, vapor or vanilla are good MAC eyeshadow colors to use. Okay, so I'm like pat and roll, establish your brow bone. I don't know if you can really see it well. It's kind of getting, there we go. So all that is going to be highlighted. Now I want to put my base color on. I'm going to use my base color from my lashes to where my highlight starts at the bottom. And I want this color to be my skin tone depth or a little bit lighter, sometimes a little bit darker, but usually we go a little bit lighter than darker. And I'm going to use a nice big fluffy but firm brush. This is the MAC 227. And for a color that's close to my skin tone, I am going to use Orb. Just place it where it goes. I love this brush. It gets so much real estate covered so quickly. Only using the side of my brush that I've loaded. You load a brush, that means you put the powder on one side of the brush, or wherever you put it, that's where you've loaded it. So I've loaded my brush on one side and I'm using that side. No wasting product here. I have to buy my own product. Every penny counts. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm highlighted, and I have my base color established. Now I want to make that crease of my eye naturally recess more. As you can see, I don't really have much of an eyelid to speak of. So I want to make it look like I have more by making this shadow right here that should exist go back farther. Since mine doesn't exist at all, I'm just creating it with a contour color. I'm going to use MAC Wedge and a crease brush that is long and tapered. The MAC 224 is an excellent crease brush, as are the 217. The 217 is a little bit wider this way, but it's still tapered that way. So they still come up to a point. Or the MAC 222, which is skinnier all around, and it's nice for giving you a nice defined crease. I don't really want my crease too defined, so I want a flower tip, the end of the bristles, to be pointed, but then to have nice long tapered bristles around it that are going to diffuse all of the color and spread it around and blend it for me. So I'm going to plop my brush right down at the outside of my crease, right on top of my eyeball. This should feel like an eyeball massage when you're doing it. You're going to go back and forth like a windshield wiper. That's what we used to say at MAC. And then little circles and little circles. Okay, so now this eye is going to be more defined than this eye. Pretty subtle, but I can see it. That's not the fault of the eyeshadow. It's the lighting on this amazingly cheap laptop. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. Plop it down. Back and forth, back and forth. Little circles in, little circles out. I like to kind of flare mine out on the sides a little bit, so bigger circles to diffuse it. If I had really close set eyes, I wouldn't want to go more than halfway in on my eyes with the crease color, because I want to create the illusion of arrows kind of pointing out and pulling my eyes apart. If I had normally set eyes, I could go all the way in if I wanted to. If I had wide set eyes, then I definitely would want to go all the way in, because if I started right here and I have wide set eyes, then it's just going to pull my eyes apart visually and, you know, make it look like you could drive a truck through them. And that's no good. Wide set eyes are gorgeous and I love them, but you really have to know how to maneuver them, if you will. Okay, so there's my crease. You can see my highlight and my base color and then my crease. Now I'm going to do some eyeliner. I'm going to use an angled brush for my eyeliner. I'm going to use a slightly larger angled brush. This is the MAC 269. Normally, the 266 is the top seller and what people think of as the MAC angle brush. But see how much bigger the 269 is? It's going to cover more space quicker, and I like the idea of that. I'm going to use a little bit of color for my liner, not a lot. I'm going to use a color called Sketch. It's a black and burgundy with a really subtle kind of, not really a frost, but a sparkle to it. And I'm going to start with my angled brush, just loading the tip of it. start at the outside edge and just kind of sketch. It's called sketch. Sketching my way in. Flipping the brush over so the long part is always towards the corner, whichever corner you're closest to. And sketch back through so those lines meet. It's easier to get a straight line with little sketch marks than it is just freehanding it and trying to draw a straight line. Okay, so a little bit more here. I like to start on my my bad side, if you will, my least dominant side. I'm right-handed, so automatically I like to go to the right side, either on myself or on other people. But then I do a great job on the right side with the line, and now I have to recreate it on my bad side. So it's easier to do it on your bad side, get it good, and then recreate that on with your good side, with your dominant hand. Okay, so I did the eyeliner. And now I'm going to do my bottom eyeliner, and I'm going to also use the same powders that I've used on the top of my eye. I'm going to use a pencil brush. This is the 219. Let's put it against something black so you can see. There we go. That it's nice and pointed. That point is going to give us the, it's going to deposit the color right where we want it, and it's going to help diffuse it out. We're going to use little circles to really blend it. I don't want for this look a liner look that's like a straight line or a defined line. I want it to be really diffused and blended out and just look more like shadows and light playing on your face, if you will. So first I'm going to do a highlight. I'm going to use Floof again, the same color that you used for your highlight. You're going to use right underneath your tear duct in the middle. Right there. It's going to help open up the eyes. Sometimes people are afraid of eyeliner on the underside of their eyes because they think it's going to close their eyes up. This is a great way to not close it up. You're going to encircle the eye, but leave this opening and expand the opening. So it's going to make it nice and big and voluptuous. And then I'm going to use the same color that I used for my crease for the bottom eyeliner. So I'm going to use Wedge and the same pencil brush. Just go back and forth from the outside of my eye to where I put that highlight color. Okay. Sorry, I know my son's going to tell me, Mama, your hair looked like crap when you did that. Okay, now we've got all of that done. We need lashes. I'm going to use a MAC Hot and Naughty lash. And I'm going to use, there's a little skinny side to this one, right there, for my bottom lashes. I do bottom lashes first so that my model doesn't have to look up and get mascara all over her eyelid when I'm putting the bottom on. And she would if I had put the top on first. Okay. Then I'm going to use the fat and sultry side, which is this second section, for my top mascara. It's just what I like to do right now. I'm not saying don't put more mascara on the bottom than the top. Someday I might tell you to do that too. Today we're doing it this way. Okay, so that is your basic sculpted eyeshadow look. Highlight, base color, crease, eyeliner, eyeliner and highlight, and mascara. and you're done. Thanks for watching.